See, this is the kind of operation we're running around here.
Where's your clipboard? You're supposed to have
I have
your
no
clipboard.
clipboard today, right? No, right. Is it too late for the introduction?
We're already here.
All right, we are here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Talk
about Bob.
Yep. The Wiener, Captain Joel.
Hello, Bob and the Wiener Show.
That's right. How you doing, everybody? Thanks for coming out and hanging with us. Sorry if this seems
Welcome
a little wonky,
to
right?
my den in Jacksonville, Florida,
This is
and my pretty 414.
your man cave, right?
That is my man
now, if you
cave.
look way in the back, and I don't see, I'm going to point again. So if you've seen my road trips, you know I do this a lot, right? And I do this a lot too. I'm very handy.
Yeah,
in the back is the banner towing, so it's our banner operation. So someday we'll actually move the camera.
Video that will be coming out of
That's
the
right.
hangar. And
Because let me tell you something. Every Saturday. At 1 o'clock.
You live here.
No, I'm not talking about that. I do live here every once in a while. I don't live in the executive suite upstairs like Jason did, but I have been thrown under the bus the last two Saturday coffees at 1 o'clock every Saturday.
That's right.
I've been literally, not only did I get mowed over once, I got reversed and mowed over back, right? About my spelling.
I got accused of drinking a Corona.
Well, that's a different issue altogether.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, that when you banner tow, what's the most important thing is spell, right?
This is true.
So I don't know who put me in charge of spelling, but I do stink at spelling. I will not lie. It was not a good thing. I always ask my wife, hey, how do you spell this?
We're going to chur?
Chur,
you
right.
got a chur on something?
Okay, yeah. See, this is a couple things. If I were a fighter pilot, what would be my call sign, right? Chur, right?
Sure,
because
that'd
I
be a
would have
good
screwed that one over, right? Anyway.
You got your checklist?
God, no, what are we talking about? See, you gotta be careful. Everybody, hold on a sec. This is very unprofessional, all right?
All right.
All right, this is where we, hold on a sec.
Don't hit the propeller with
I
your
know,
hand.
I gotta be careful. Hold on, don't look. Sorry.
Studio coupon.
Jeez Louise. Oh, right, I got it. All right.
Reminder?
I did remember now,
Okay.
see? There you go, see? All right.
right.
All right, so tell me about spiral descents.
All right, so when you're practicing your
You like that second?
commercial, actually we do a little bit as your private.
Private too, right?
We just start about 3,500
We did
feet.
do that, right.
All right. Pull the power back to idle, carburetor heat, and then start a bank turn. And what's the maximum bank turn in a spiral descent?
For you or for them?
What is per the PTS?
It's 45
rates?
degrees, I believe,
45
right?
degrees, yes. So
For you,
45
it's about 80. Right?
Have you ever flown with me?
No, keep going. You're doing great.
So-
Keep going.
Roll your airplane in a 45-degree bank, pitch back a little bit, and come down at your
Right.
best glide speed of in a 172.
VG, right?
It's 70 miles per hour.
That's correct. No, it's 80. In,
Oh, yeah.
In a
I'm
mile, in your airplane, it's 80. But know your VGs, right? We talked about knowing your speeds, right?
Know your speed.
Do you think an exam? I want to get off topic for a second on Steve Sproul's.
you went off topic?
We'll be
You?
back. We'll be back to Steve Sproul's in just a moment. But we first talk about V speeds.
Okay.
How often do DPEs during check rides ask V speeds?
Every one.
You think so?
When I do a flight review, I ask V speed.
I'm not asking about a flight review. I asked about a check ride. A check ride. If the examiner sits down in the oral part and goes, "What's this or what's that?" Do you
I
think
would
V speeds
imagine
are coming?
V speeds are in every check ride.
You think so?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. There you go. Now we return back to Steve Sproul's. So you're in a 45-degree bank. You're starting down, and this would be an idle cutoff, right? You mean idle, right?
And you want to orbit around your point that you're going to land. All right. And you got to do your wind correction. So on the upwind, wings aren't going to be as steep as
Right.
downwind. And then about 1,000 foot, you got to decide where you're going to land, and then
right.
and then do your.
But it's not an ACS maneuver. It's not something you do for your check ride for a private pilot.
No, it's a safety maneuver that you
Right.
be able to get down through
Right.
a cloud hole.
So you could
or-
take your instructor and say, "Can we do this just for fun?"
Yeah.
Right.
Which you did yesterday.
I did, but I'm just saying it would be fun to, like for example, we always get wrapped up in flying. I wanted to pass my check around, but you got to fly for fun. You got to do something different. So maybe try
Fly for a steep spiral.
fly for a steep spiral. Now it's going to be challenging in Towered Airport, right? Because the controller's got to approve you to do it.
Right. You got to do it at a slow time, and
You got to find your time to do that. Or an uncontrolled airport, you got to be really careful. So there are pick and choose your times. You don't want to be that pilot, right? That comes in and does it in the middle of right.
Yeah.
But try the steep spiral. It's very fascinating. I always thought that was very interesting.
If you were to go more than 45 degrees bank, you'll have a
Right.
more slipping sensation, and it'll come down a little faster.
Right, but it's fun to do, right?
Yeah.
That's also short approach slips. Have you ever done
Short approach slips,
Right.
power off of 180s.
Power-
You're taking that spiral and adding it some other.
But these are all
elements to it.
things as a private pilot you wouldn't necessarily do. But you should, you say, hey, look, I heard this. I mean, time is critical.
Yeah, go out and
but you still want to do these
things. Once you get your private certificate, gives you something to make you understand the airframe and airspeeds and airspeed control.
Right.
Is the big thing.
It's kind of a thing where these are bonuses to fly, because I think flying different things is kind of a unique and keeps it fresh.
Yeah.
But I know so many people are so geared on getting their private pilot's license and just getting the ACS requirements and mastering those things.
Right, because that's what our goal as an instructor is, to get you to that point.
Right.
Safely and
as quickly as possible.
As quickly as possible.
Well, you wouldn't sit there as a 35-hour guy who's struggling to get the master the ACS requirements to go, hey, let's do Steve spirals. You probably wouldn't do that. Right. But it's something, after you get your private pilot's license, go up and say, let's do these. That would be fun to do too. Always kind of challenge yourself. Yeah.
I'll add that to my next flight review.
You will.
Oh, I think that's a good one.
That's a good. Well, see, I taught you something today.
I did a flight review yesterday and did some power off 180s, which a gentleman hadn't done before, and it was neat for us.
Yeah, we have not done a lot of power off 180s, and I need to do more of them. So, here's another one. So I'm studying for my instrument that I did last year, and I'm desperately going through the written portion, and I come across a topic that is on the written portion of, I'm sure, for the instrument for sure, and that is cruise clearances. When was the last time you
I have never asked or accepted a cruise clearance. So
right. But it's a test subject. They talk about this thing. Right. So for all you instrument guys, you're going to go through all this stuff and you're going to go cruise clearances. And I literally spent 3 nights trying to wrap my mind around all the nuancy stuff for cruise clearances, because we talk in a previous episode, you'll hear us discuss about contact approaches and how few you'll do as a controller and how few you'll do as a pilot. Cruise clearances, the number of cruise clearances I have ever heard of anybody doing is 0.
I've done a box altitude, but I've never done a cruise clearance.
Block altitude is a different animal altogether. Yeah. But cruise clearances, if I say cruise 6,000, you know what that gives you the right to do? Everything from where to 6,000. You get the whole shooting match.
Okay.
All the way down. And so why would a controller issue a cruise 8,000 through the state of Florida? Because you basically own from
surface to 8,000.
Surface to 8,000 feet. You never do that.
No.
In fact, you will. I'm not sure, and this is kind of just my personal thing on this, why that's even a thing anymore.
I think maybe that was back in the old days where they're doing mail routes and
way back in the old days.
You're the only guy that's between here and
it's got to be a residual. I don't know where it came from, but it's got to be residual. But we're still getting tested on it, and that was the part that was very frustrating. I think when I was studying that section for the instrument, I was literally losing my ever-loving minds, and I got on a rant big time. You can kind of tell I went on a little rant now. I was a little wound up. I was wound up. I was sweating, but anyway. But that's kind of the cruise clearance thing. So if you ever hear somebody, make sure you send a message going, Bob, I heard somebody issue a cruise clearance.
Yeah, we'd like some feedback.
Yeah, I'd like to know. So if you find a cruise clearance, hey, and I'll even buy lunch for the next guy who actually gets a cruise clearance from a controller, because that ain't going to happen.
You're one of them public subs?
Public subs, right. Who was the guy that's... I think there was somebody put a message on there that said he works at Publix, right? So, you know how we fly for food?
Yeah, we do fly
for food. There's no food here right now.
No,
there's no
you
food.
missed it today.
I did.
Late.
Well, I wasn't invited.
Oh.
So.
He's finally catching on.
Yeah, right. So it's all good. Hope you guys get something out of that. So, is there anything else you want to talk about before
you got the checklist?
We're doing a checklist again? Hold on, so I'm sitting on a checklist. This is a very professional thing, but I just want to let you know.
You even typed it up.
No, I even typed it up. No, we're good. That's it.
Cruise clearance?
That's it.
All right.
It's a quickie today. I just want to say, everybody, thank you for paying attention to what we got to say. Hope if you have any questions at all, he and I are on the comments all the time. Ask us anything. We'd love to chat with you guys. You can send me a message. Do whatever you need to do. We're there for you guys, because it's really not about me holding information. It's about you guys having a good time.
Learn, move forward, and expand your aviation career.
That's right. And learn your spelling, because that's important too.
Or you could be working as a banner ground.
You could be a banner ground crew guy, and that's bad too, because he's never going to let me fly a banner. So anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the rest of your day. Make sure you have fun flying, and a good pilot is always learn. And see you guys.